Welcome back. I'm excited to be here. Yeah. Welcome, everybody. I don't have my glasses on. I hope they're clean. I am William. I am your co-founder, The Fixer. Our founder and fairy are on their way. Well, our fairy is on her way. We have a proxy. We have a special guest. We have a few special guests coming in. We are Chestnut Checkers. Oh, mouth was dry. I was trying to get it together, y'all. Make sure you like and subscribe. You can always contact us, chestnutcheckers@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Twitch at Chestnut Checkers. You can also follow us on Facebook. You can follow us on Instagram. You can follow us on TikTok. We're here, Facebook, Chestnut Checkers. We're also here. Add us on TikTok, Chestnut Checkers. On Instagram, it's a little bit tricky. It's CNC_chess_not checkers. So you can find us, like, and subscribe. Other than that, we are here. We are here to have fun. We're here to enjoy. We're talking about something special. I'm cleaning my glasses, so don't mind me. We're here to talk about something special, something near and dear to my heart. We're going to talk about music today. We're going to talk about the foundation of music, where we came from, where we are. Kristen's not here, so guess what? I get to talk about pop culture, unbiased, and we're going to actually share my opinion on pop culture. I know she's the one, and I know that a lot of other people have their views on pop culture and where it stems from, but I won't touch too much in detail on it. But just to know that it's ours, and we get to sub content and sub devise stuff that's ours, and we get to make it appropriately what is and what isn't for us, because we had it first. But with that said, we are Chestnut Checkers. We have a special guest. We have Kristen's son on the line, y'all. We're going to bring him up in just a few. But with that said, before we do, we had Northwest, Kanye's daughter. She decided she wanted to make a public announcement about her father. And the public announcement is that my father's a good dad. And I would much prefer spending more time with my dad than I would with my mom. Now, I'm not saying Kim is a bad parent, because I don't judge parents in that light. You do your best. Most people were not handed instruction booklets on how to be parents, and we can kind of see how Kim was brought up, so we kind of know that. But with that said, I do recall and I do know that Kanye, one thing that he did not play with was the sanctuary and the privacy of his kids and the time that he was able to get with his kids. Now, between him and Kim, whatever nonsense going on between him and them, I hope that they've long been past it. But one thing you never heard them say was that Kanye meant harm or meant bad for them kids. So clearly, he's doing what he's supposed to do. The children are able to be a little bit older and have a voice to speak on certain things. And Lord have mercy, a combination of 100% Kanye and 100% Kim, that's wild work. Who knows what we're going to get in the future, but let's hope that families can bond and bridge, and, whatever takes place, takes place. In other news, we've had some passings. There was too many to count as far as entertainment. But the one that shocked me was D'Angelo. D'Angelo, the other day, yesterday, he passed away. We found out that he was battling pancreatic cancer. Died at the age of 51. Musical inspiration to so many people that I know. But with that said, let me. I don't want to talk to myself too long. I know. Hey, can you nod if you can hear me real quick? You like D'Angelo? All right, we're gonna bring you up. Listen. Don't make no funny faces about D'Angelo if I start to weep out here. But we're gonna bring somebody up. We're gonna start, and D'Angelo hit me a little bit hard. And the reason why he hit me a little hard was because I grew up on D'Angelo. I grew up knowing D'Angelo. I grew up, that was like the foundation of music. The I guess the momentous symbol of what neo soul was in my generation. And not only that, he was the foundation of what we know as brotherhood. You know the song "You Will Know" we used to have. Um, Everybody had that communal song throughout their legacy and their genres. He was the writer and the instrumentalist of that song. Many of backgrounds that we probably know near and dear. But D'Angelo was he wasn't he wasn't often known as the top tier when it came to music, but everybody knew him. Did you know D'Angelo?
No, that's yeah. I know it might be shocking, but I don't know who that is. I can't lie to you.
That breaks my heart. So have you ever heard the song um How Does It Feel? How does it feel? Ba-dum. How does it feel?
I definitely feel like I have heard that before.
Okay. He was the originator of that song, of like pushing the boundary of like, okay, is that man naked behind that stage and that camera? I mean, you mean, oh, by the way, introduce yourself. Please introduce yourself.
Uh, hey, Corday, uh, I think you called her the founder. I'm the founder's son. I mostly do film stuff, but I was specifically brought here to give a unique, younger perspective on Black music as a whole, et cetera, which I'm more than happy to give. I actually find this topic extremely exciting to talk about. But
Listen, man, it's interesting, and what's unique about it is something happened in like the 90s, like around the 90s, where it got real weird. I mean, it got real weird. I mean, uh, um, we had black male groups, and we had white male groups that were competing with the black male groups in similar genres but different genres. It
mm,
was like they were Michael Jacksonizing every R&B song. So you had like 112. They said, "Okay, you got 112. Here's NSYNC." And then we were like, "Okay, Drew Hill. Okay, you got Drew Hill. Here comes Backstreet Boys." And it was like, "Okay, so now we got like we're running out of people like Jodeci, and then you had New Kids on the Block." Like it was always that competition.
true. I feel like that really does carry over to today as well, though. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
everything that we've made and with the research I've been doing specifically on Black music, what music we originally made that was taken from us, et cetera, et cetera. It seems like almost every single major genre that gets popular on the billboards nowadays was originally a genre made by Black people, either in slavery or afterward. And
Mm-hmm. No, go
especially,
ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, and especially nowadays, it's a lot more complicated to even talk about a topic like this because of how big of a thing it's become. Like country music, I feel like nowadays and rap, etc., have become worldwide phenomena for a lot of people. Like our music spreads, and now it's become a situation where we can't really like it's evolving at such a crazy rate, to be honest with you. And it's hard to kind of keep track of where everything went and how do we really say that what we originally started off with the foundation of unity that came with rap originally is the same or anywhere near the same as what's coming out now is
And and I do agree with that. I mean, even if we centralize rap or hip hop, I mean, at this point, we have to separate them.
True.
They're two different genres. They talk about two different things, and they have two different ideas. I believe that rap kind of went in his own sector. It's going somewhere else.
Yeah.
We have I call it mumble rap, and I don't know what it is, what's it called really, and I don't want to offend anybody, but we have that it's that southern
Yeah. That's it.
you have that and it's like that triplet over a five, and well, I'm
Yeah.
a musician, sorry, but then you have actual hip hop that is lyricists. They're able to say, you know what, here's a beat. No matter the beat, I'm going to put word to pen on it. And it's going to be an inflection of who I am as opposed to what this music is making me do.
Hmm. Okay. I can
And
definitely see that for sure.
that's what I think that music has become. It's become so, it's like box. It's like looking at a checkerboard, like this is that. This is this. And then but there's also a unique fluidity to it all.
Mm.
So
Unique fluidity. I wouldn't even know if I could call it a fluidity anymore, because the concepts and the what you talked about, mumble rap, which was rap I think that kind of got popularized in the early 2010s with like the XXS Tentaciones, et cetera, et cetera.
mhm.
Well, I can't really even call X a mumble rapper. A lot of the stuff he was trying to do and say was pretty important in my opinion, but it's definitely a new age, I would say. Like, how do you exactly delineate what you would call this, even though it goes under the same umbrella of something that's completely different, in my opinion? Like,
Mhm.
you can automatically tell when someone's on a track trying to tell you something versus someone
Mhm.
being on a track just to be on a track.
Right.
There's, and as somebody who mostly or finds a lot more of their personal derivements from film, I've I've never really looked at music the same way as, like, for example, like you, a musician, would,
Mhm.
and you break those things down from a fundamentally different standpoint than I do. And
Mhm.
it's beautiful to hear the perspectives of people who really and truly understand everything that these people are trying to say. Because a lot of the stuff, like, I only recently started to pick up on like triple and quadruple entendres in certain songs.
Right, right,
Like,
right.
I'm just getting to that point now because I never really listened to music that much for the meaning behind the words. And I'm trying to,
Wow.
yeah, and I'm trying to work myself to the point where I can listen to this music and understand not only where they're coming from like a basic shallow standpoint, but also understand the deeper meanings in the things
Mhm.
people are trying to say. Because I, not until I would say a few years ago, never really and truly put together how important rap music, for example, was to Black culture as a whole. It's
Mm.
it's something that, because of how much rap music has changed, rap and hip hop have fundamentally changed in between when you were growing up and when I was growing up. Rap
Mhm.
never had the same sense of community to me, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Like, I always heard about the same things because it was always the most prominent rappers at the time talking about very similar vulgar things, etc., etc.
Mhm.
But that never really felt like something to bring people together, which I feel like I could definitely get a lot more of a vibe from the rap of the 80s and 90s, for example,
Mhm.
in comparison to now.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, God, I can't remember the last. Well, I would say the 80s. 80s was like a trial period of like, all right, what type of word patterns can I put together to send out a message? So it was like, okay, I'm not a singer, but I'm kind of like on the harsher region of poetry. I have a message to bring and I feel something, but I don't know how to quite, like you would say, delineate it.
Mhm.
90s hit. You know, the results of what we can see of the crack epidemic.
Mm.
We now see territorial and turf wars and things of that nature based on the heightened reaction to the crack epidemic from when I was born. So now they have something to talk about. They're talking about possession and power. And so much of me wants to say that the government dropped that kind of in like pow and left us with nothing because in that time, like I remember it like it was like almost yesterday. It was well over 30 years ago, about 35 years ago now. Like they major cities, they strip resources.
Mm.
They started closing down schools, stripping resources, and then they were like threatening to take music departments from inner city schools. So literally all you had was kids going "Boom, boom, boom." And as a result, the wave came to like everybody started getting a little freestyle going. And then all of a sudden we had underground rap.
Yeah.
It was like I don't know if it officially started in any place, but I remember the origin of it happening in my community in like cafeterias
Mm.
and at McDonald's when they cut the music off and we weren't able to like kind of sing over the music or whatever the case may be. But like that's it's telling to say, okay, no matter where we go, there's always some sort of story that we can express through music, express through poetry, express through our artistic verbiage.
Mm. Yeah.
How do you feel where we are now musically? Like, and I'm not going to make this an interview. We're going to begin to talk about music. We have a couple of videos we're going to talk about. I still have a whole genre of stuff to talk about for the last 50, 60 years of music. But
Mm.
before I do, I, I know you've heard some true to blue music
Yeah.
between hip hop, R&B. Where like listening to where it's at now and probably what you've heard back then. I won't throw a curveball at you. What do you define old school?
Ooh.
I told I was gonna throw a monkey wrench at you.
Ooh. That's gonna make some
I'm
people.
not gonna be offended.
Yeah, understandable. Old school. Um, I don't know. That kind of brings me back to like the the Dr. Dre, keep your heads ringing. Today was a good day.
Mm,
That's where my head goes when I think old school.
got you. Now, like I guess with that genre, does it resonate with you in any part? Like with how you model yourself?
Hmm.
How you go through, your everyday. Because I know when I think about Stevie Wonder, like that's what I look at old school in my generation. Like Stevie Wonder, Michael McDonald, and if you want to go hip hop, you're looking at like I guess they're more like my peers almost.
Hmm.
I have like Busta Rhymes, like you have, Jay-Z. They're only like a few years older than me, but that's like my generation. We were like,
Hmm.
finally our voices heard. But before that, it was almost like hip hop didn't really. I mean, you had the Sugar Hill Gang,
Hmm.
but that was like the extent of what hip hop was until New York and LA were like, F that, boom, and they just started throwing people out there. You know what I mean? And not even really throwing people out there. They started saying, hey, you got something that needs to be said.
Right.
And like we didn't start really hearing um really like the voices of like I guess on my region, the West Coast, being on the East, so we didn't really start hearing about them till like the 89, 90.
Mm.
And they had already like left a stamp. They were already like wow, they were already Easy E was already out, like Ice Cube was already out, Dr. Dre was already like starting to push their narrative. You know, like we didn't know much about them. Like I think in 92, 93, Snoop came out. 91 maybe.
Mhm.
They had their own culture. We had Wu-Tang Clan.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
To this day, most people can't even name them all. There were so many of them.
Yeah. Oh man.
You know, and
That's
and it was real violence at that point. It was like, don't come up. We found out early MC Hammer he wasn't really a game. Like he'll shimmy across the stage and beat the shit out you. Like, yeah, like Hammerman, like he ain't no game.
mm.
That's what we were brought up knowing. Like, but now to see what we see now, it's like folk be doot 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 doot. But then when it's time to say, okay, all that you were talking, let's talk about it. Let's put it to action. Not many people can really go down that road.
Oh yeah, 100%. I feel like the amount of rappers nowadays that are willing to stand up for what they're talking about is infinitely lower now than it was back then, because the I feel like the main thing was just lived experience. That's just how it was for the people who were making the music back then in the late 80s, early 90s, etc.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, it's a situation where nowadays, even though I'm not saying it's any better out there in the streets, there's a lot less people who have to go through, experience those types of things in the same way that they did, but they still want to talk as if they did. It's a whole different thing. Like one major point, since we were talking about stolen culture, etc., that I kind of wanted to talk about was the entire like 6ix9ine as a character in the rap game in it of itself. Yeah, it's definitely a weird situation with him, in my opinion.
You talking about Tekashi 6ix9ine?
Yes, yes.
Oh, but now, he is he more your genre, like your culture?
Yeah, he's definitely hearing in
And
compared.
you
Like,
felt so disappointed saying that. You're like,
it's what I heard in like middle school, early high school, stuff
can
like
you
that.
explain to like me who he is and like why he still is relevant now?
He's more relevant for the fact that he snitched than his actual music nowadays. But 6ix9ine was somebody who was faking being a blood. He had paid off a bunch of bloods, and I'm pretty sure it was New York, to be in a few of his videos, to kind of hype him up, etc., to make him look like he was a gang member, because street cred is incredibly important in the rap game, real or not, apparently. So he paraded himself around as a gang member, talked like he was doing this, that, and the third thing. He actually gets swept up into a related issue. It wasn't even about him. He got brought to court, had to testify, instantly dropped everybody's name. The second they started talking about sentencing, he was done for. He was snitching instantaneously, which is where the nickname Nine came from. And now he's been able to somehow bankroll his clout from him snitching and him defending himself for his situation to continue being, like, I'd say a D-tier celebrity nowadays. Like, he's not really relevant or anything, but you'll see him pop up like once every 6 months talking about this, that, or the third crazy thing.
Sure.
But like, he's a lot more indicative of what I see a lot of people doing within rap music, which is taking something that they think they understand, rapping like they know it without actually knowing it, and then bouncing right after shit gets tough. Like, a lot of people.
Nope, keep right on going.
Oh.
You listen, that just hit me in the chest. Like,
like it's a situation in which we see all these different rappers. Like
Mm-hmm.
6ix9ine was probably my favorite example, but there was like Lil Xan or all a bunch of different littles out here.
I'm
But
not gonna lie, like 6ix9ine, it got so. It was like if ADD went to court, like just a symptom of his own went to court. That's what we would see it go through. Like that was a lot to deal with, and I'm like, click,
yeah,
because it was like you were, but you're not.
nah, he wasn't
You
at all.
are, but you aren't. You can, but you can't.
He couldn't. He never
You
could.
know,
He's
you
really
see
good
how
at
it
faking it.
got weird, right? It got real weird. Like I was like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Like, and why doesn't know anybody? Like, I know people. Like, and it's not that like again, I was brought up in the 80s. I was raised and brought through, so and I've also traveled. So I know real people in real places. Like I know that okay, and it's not to disparage anybody's cultural community. And I'm gonna say this again. This and what I'm about to say is not to disparage any cultural community.
We took the glass
Okay?
being serious.
Yeah. Bloods and Crips started in California, Los Angeles. Anything else that's happening, it's going to take a lot to scare me.
Mm.
That's all I got. Like
Even the stuff
I
we do
know
about
some
Chicago
real
and all that.
people that's done some real stuff. Like
Yeah.
and if they knew some of the stuff that's going on, and I let them know, they'd be like, "What? Yeah, no, we don't even do that. You don't do that like over here." But that's all I'm gonna say. So whatever y'all got going on in New York and in Jersey and I know some real folk. And you know, without further ado, y'all, we have the Lovey on the line. We're so happy to have her on the stage, coming back on. Good to see you, Miss Lovey.
Good to see y'all. Hi, good
And your
evening. Hey,
camera's going live.
nephew.
Hey.
Listen, we got into a good, interesting conversation about
Uh-oh.
the old and the new. I started, and this young man, he knows a little bit about some music now. We started talking about the old culture of music and how it had a reason and a meaning behind it.
Right.
Like you can hear the message, and he was also sharing how he's learning how to go back to the music and be like, you know what, I can actually listen to what's behind the message too, and some of the words that aren't said while being said. The double entendres,
Right.
the double
That reading
triples.
in between those lines.
Yeah,
Come
the
on.
quadruple entendres. Like you be like, oh, there's
Okay.
levels to this. You know what I mean?
All right.
Your musical experience. Let's share your journey.
Oh my God. Well, I'm the youngest in my family's house, and so my musical journey started mixed up. My brothers were listening to a thing, but my father was a little older than my mom. And so for me, it was Etta James and it was The Temptations. It was, God, it was just like so way back to some music that I couldn't even say I recognized for real. My father kept a record player, ugh, his whole life, and he pulled out things we didn't even know who these people were, but it was so soulful. It was so deep. Like they were putting in the message behind the message, and it was groovy. It was high. It was lovely, and it was deep. And you could feel that emotion radiating off of it. And then my brothers, they were listening to Michael Jackson. They were listening to Prince, Sade. And they were trying to feel their way through it. Every Saturday night, my dad would put on some records, and we would all get in the living room, and we would just dance together. That's how I had my first dance on my dad's toes, and he was listening to Marvin Gaye. He was dancing with my mom, and then my brothers were dancing with my mom, and I'm listening. I'm like, okay, okay, all right, all right. and he sat down and he would tell us about what it was like, what putting away what you thought was like being quiet about it, and what you did at home, and the lessons that we learned that we didn't take outside and give to everybody. It was secret, it was special, it was ancestral. And so music to me started on both sides of the spectrum. I'm listening to a little Marvin Gaye, I'm listening to a little Prince, little Michael Jackson. There were so many fun things to get into. And then for myself, by the time I got into music, I really preferred that old school sound to anything new that was really coming out. Because to me, that was the real jive. That was the real shake. That had body. It spoke to me. It danced with
Yeah.
me. You
Listen,
know,
was
it's
there
like
was there? Oh, go ahead, please.
I, to today, my dad has passed away a couple of years now, and whenever I hear Marvin Gaye, a little tear trickles. And I'm like, yeah, because you knew what it was to give us the old school stuff, the stuff that taught us how to hear the words, know what to do, and move forward. And we got the message. And you had to have a little more than some auto tune, some AI, and a mock up in the
Hmm.
studio. You had to have all of it. You had to give life, you had to give energy, you had to really push that thing. And that to me, even in today when I listen to music, that's what I'm really hungry for. That's what I'm really
Hmm.
wanting. If I'm going to listen to it, it need to be speaking to me. It needs to be giving me something. I need to feel like, okay, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, there has to have some sort of reason to it. It's like um for me now, and still being an active musician and also being a active listener. Um, there has to be a reason why the music is being done. Otherwise, anything that just feels good for the moment, but there's no reason, I feel bad.
Hmm.
And don't judge anybody.
Huh.
I feel bad, but I immediately take that and I dump it into pop culture.
Hmm. I can see that. I,
Like that, where them fans at? Pop culture. I throw it in there.
I can't.
Now, here's the problem. There's so many styles of pop style culture. Everything can't now be pop. There now has to be, and Kristen and I talked about this. There now has to be a subdivision of now what we're throwing into this pot. Otherwise, it's one big gumbo. Now gumbo tastes good,
depends on who's making it though.
but it
I mean, it
depends on
depends
good
on.
brother. I knew you was a good one.
It
Amen. It,
depends. Like,
but you gotta have it right, and it's gotta be made by the right hands.
Yeah.
okay.
Otherwise, we're getting deeper into a rabbit hole where it's like, all right, what are y'all really talking about? Like I heard, and please excuse me, I'm not quoting, and we got a little bit of a trivia for y'all. I'm not quoting what this man is saying completely, but it was like, "Ba-da-da-da-na-na-na-na-na-na. I like when he touches my behind and spreads it apart."
Oh.
That was, you know who I'm talking about?
uh. Yeah. I get the gist for sure.
You see what direction we're going now? And it's like, it's influential because it's easily said. Remember, I pledge
Yes.
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God. And if you say it enough, you start to believe it.
True.
Like, this shit is not okay.
Oh, I completely agree. I could not agree more with that. I feel like the things that are being perpetuated within modern rap are creating a delusional generation of black men and women, and it's kind of scary if I really think about it, because you got to think about the music that I was growing up with, early 2000s, Kanye, Jay-Z, uh, Beyonce, Rihanna, That was a little bit of TLC in there from Ma.
Don't you say those names, narcissist. Say,
What?
sorry, that was a double entendre. Sorry.
Horrible. Horrible.
Pure.
Pew, pew, pew.
Sorry.
Oh man, but like even that music in comparison to now, it just I agree with you in the sense that it does not inherently have purpose in the meaning of like what's being talked about, how it's being talked about, etc., etc. Music, or at least rap, I've noticed like some of the bigger people coming out like that right now, like Yeet, for example, have prided themselves a lot more on their technical prowess rather than what they can bring from a cultural standpoint. And that's been a huge shift that I've seen in rap music as of recent anyway, is that it's become a lot less attached to a community and more about flexing your technical, and I think it's mostly just technical when it comes down to it. There just isn't the same amount or the same type of soul in it that there used to be.
Agreed.
Say that word again.
What, soul?
Yeah. Oh, whoa,
Ooh.
man. What does that mean?
Uh,
Wait a minute. Before we do, we got one more. We got one more. Alice there.
Hey,
hey,
My
what's up,
What's
bro?
up, everybody?
Y'all
What's
have
going
no
on?
idea. This man genuinely makes me happy. Like Alice makes me
Yeah,
happy. He's a good dude, man. Alice,
yeah,
are you a
yeah.
music savant?
He's out. What? Come on with it.
Do you like music?
No, of
He better
course.
say he loves music.
Okay, give us your
Fucking
music
love
and your
it.
music history. Wrap it up, 30 seconds to a minute. Let us know about your music experience.
Oh, music history. Okay. I come from a very multicultural background. You have mostly West Indian, so I'm definitely tapped in with that. I mean, I got the Caribbean side.
He on roots.
Shit, I love my soul. Like I'm a little bit tapped in, really, just
You
now,
got
really
soul
starting to get
again?
into jazz. That R&B. Oh yeah, I'm there. I mean, I can go anywhere to be honest. Like I'm just musically inclined, and I love it. I mean, I could go anywhere with it. Like I could go to any type of culture. Don't even have to even know what's going on,
So
and
where
I
did
can
you
feel
start
something from it.
musically? Where did you start? Like if you can go back to your first memory, non-traumatic. I'm not trying to pull nobody's roots out, but whatever you got, put that shit
You
back in
know
the
what?
box and then
I've
close it
always
back.
been in right. I've always been in. I always had a feel for music. I mean, one thing about me and my father, like we've been here once it comes to music, and that will never stop. I mean, he was a DJ. I mean, my whole family background is like I have my grandmother. She's a pianist, organist. My grandfather, he knows how to sing. My aunts and all that, they know how to sing. My cousins are DJs and all that too. So while growing up, I have to say my first album that I ever brought, and I'm taking it back to the 10 CDs for 99 cent era. I mean, so you know where I'm going with this.
Hey man,
My first,
I'm scared.
a lot of people used to get their ass whooped for that. But my first album was Anita Baker.
Which one?
So I mean, shit. I don't know the name of the album, but I just remember because it was one of many songs that was played at my parents' wedding. So, and I was probably
Mm,
like three at that time. So I already know like it goes back.
we like the same
But
age. I think I know which one you're talking about. Listen, man. So let me ask y'all
so
this:
yeah, I
when
mean,
when y'all were growing up, and please pardon us, Cordell, we're going to go down memory lane. Did y'all parents make y'all like clean the vinyl before y'all put it on the actual recorder? Or were y'all able to just
Oh yeah, I couldn't touch it. I could not touch it
you
because
had
you
to
know
clean it?
they had the Timberland boot brush. You know you was lit when you had the Timberland boot brush for that motherfucker. I would call it
So
that
better,
because that's what
you
it
better
looked like.
not touch it. What?
so there was
Yeah,
a
you better
thing,
not.
Cordair. There was really a thing. Like we were brought up in the era of vinyl. Like vinyl back then was really prestigious, and if you can get a real clean
Oh,
vinyl,
vinyl still is a
it,
great
it's
option.
still it's still
Vinyl
a clean.
still rocks.
It's
It's
still when I tell you,
Okay.
if I put on a good, don't laugh at me, y'all. Don't laugh. Y'all ready to judge?
I'm ready.
If y'all put on What a Fool Believes, and I hear that first,
Right. You gotta hear that little
Right. You gotta get a little
I
crackle.
am going
Okay.
to start crying. I will bawl my eyes out. And I don't know why, because it'll cause me to go down this trip. And even with songs in the key of life,
Mhm.
that album will have me tripping. It's that subtle sound of like bing, 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 bling, 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 bling. And it's like, damn. I remember watching my mother and father, like my dad throwing a fucking tantrum because the kitchen wasn't clean. My mom calming him down, and then him having a beer or two, and then dancing in the kitchen. I remember that being on because my mom took her time and cleaned off that wax and then put it on there while he was and that sound was soothing to him. He was a drummer. I'm like, this motherfucker right here. But there's something about like this wax. We need to get back to wax albums.
Hmm.
I think we need to blow up digital and go back to wax. Take our time.
Ooh, I actually agree, but for a completely different
Some people
reason.
do. Some people still do.
Yeah, because it's still
I
Go
got
ahead,
two
young man. Tell me
perspectives.
about it. Let me hear it.
Wait, you saw me, right? I got two interests. Go ahead, brother. Like I'm listening. I'm
You
listening.
see me, right? I'm like this. I would like to hear from the young man
Go
why
ahead,
we
good
should go
sir.
back to vinyl.
okay. Well,
Let
for
me get
one,
two hands on this real quick.
but yeah, for one, it's a I'm always going to be somebody who wants to own the things that they pay for, right? And especially nowadays, there have become more and more ways for people to have access to things, but not actually own them. And that's been a huge thing with like video games nowadays, music, movie streaming services, stuff like that. And vinyl is a physical medium. Once you buy the vinyl record, you'll be able to play it whenever you want to, and nobody's going to be able to physically take that away from you. Let alone the fact that from what I've heard, I don't 100% know, I haven't had much experience listening to vinyl. There's an unprecedented amount of clarity that comes from it that you don't get from digital audio. And I wouldn't know
We're
for
gonna
sure,
get you a vinyl.
huh?
We get you a vinyl.
Yeah.
Kristen, you raised this man well.
Well
And
raised. Well raised. Come
amen.
on, Yaffu. Come on.
Come on with
Listen,
it.
I'm trying to say like something about that
So go
the
ahead. Okay, I want to
industry.
ask you a question.
Who?
What do you think the new generation has to do to get back that feel, that gravitation, that pull to the young community to have uh, insight and inspirational touch to their music?
Ooh, that's a great question. It seems like you got something you want to say. You can go first.
He ain't have to go. No, he ain't have to go there, Alistair. You really touched home.
No, that's a really
Now,
good
please go
question
ahead.
because
I'm
there's so
going
much
in.
Let him
missing. Come
I
on,
explain.
gotta
young
put that
man.
up
Go
here,
ahead.
but
Go
I'm
ahead.
coming in. I'm coming in hot on this
Coming in
one.
hot.
It's hot. Come on. I'm
No,
with it.
I get it. I get it. I completely understand it. And I completely agree. There's a huge like disparity in the the human touch when it comes to music nowadays. Like you basically got Tyler the Creator, and that's about it. We talking about people that have been blowing up as of recent in comparison. It's definitely, I don't know 100% the steps, but we would need to take accountability for the fact that we haven't had community, or at least it hasn't felt like we've had community in a very long time. Like that, a lot of people aren't going to be willing to accept the fact that we've been fighting amongst ourselves for so long. We kind of forgot what it means to stand up for one another, just because it's a tough situation, and I want people I want people to be able to understand that, at least from my perspective, like the way that you guys talk about music, I honestly wish that I was able to have experienced music the same way. We fundamentally got completely different types of music when we were growing up. Like you guys got some of the best people that have ever made music in the history of humankind, which is fire. And I'm not saying that we haven't had that type of generational talent yet, but there isn't a single person that's going to hit the same as Prince or Michael Jackson. It's a situation where we kind of have to look at what we're doing now, what we hold dear to ourselves, and what we actually want as a community. And we actually have to push that forward instead of getting so caught up fighting each other. Like it's a fight internally. Like that's how I see it anyway. Like we're fighting each other a lot more than we would like to admit. And I want it to become a situation where we can work together towards a common goal, create music that you can put on with your family and not be ashamed of what they're listening to. Like the story that Auntie had said earlier about being able to like be in the dancing around every week, listening to that type of music. I'd be ashamed to throw on the type of music, rap music that we're listening to and getting now for my kids. I'd never want them to listen to that, because why would I want those types of things perpetuated to my children? It's a tough situation for sure, but I feel like at the end of the day, it's more about accountability than anything.
As wild as it is. Ooh, you touched some points, bro. Like,
My
you
goodness.
touched some points. One of the things that I will say is
Let me
that
fill up my cup on that one.
even being like so heavily into just hip hop, like, and coming from the hip hop era, we got to hear of the Nas's, the like we said, the Wu-Tang Clan, the 3 6 Mafia. We got to hear of all those old heads and the old school, right? um I appreciated them. I honored them, and one of the things that I we used to do, I couldn't wait to get to school to be like, you know what? I can't wait to freestyle so I can, show y'all who I've emulated and who I practice. But one of the wild things, and Alistair said something very unique too. He was like, one of his favorite albums is Aretha or Anita Baker, excuse me, Anita Baker. And Anita Baker is more like jazz influential, and most of the hip hop artists that I know, they're very much jazz centered. They're like, who's your favorite artist? They're like, well, don't get it twisted. You know what I mean? We can name, Biggie, we can name this, we can name that, but they're gonna say Ella. They're gonna say like Louis Armstrong. They're gonna say like the old names that of the original sound that we had. And one thing that we can say, and we don't like to really own, is what that original sound was. And we kept saying soul and this, but what did soul come from? Oh, I have a banner for it. Wait a minute.
I can't.
So, bang. Where did soul come from? We're gonna start there. I want me to give you all.
I don't think it comes from anywhere. It comes from the feeling that you get.
Hmm.
If I had to
Cause
give it,
you can't sing nothing right if you don't motherfucking have a feeling for it. You can't like a lot of these rappers now. They just rap just to be rapping. There's no feeling or unk into it. It's very easy what they're doing.
So I asked
So
a friend. Oh, go ahead, Lovey, go ahead.
I want to say that, in my opinion, my humble opinion, when you talk about soul, when you talk about the embodiment of it, what it was and what is being played with today, soul came with a few things. Unfiltered truth, it came with. It came with saying that thing out loud that today, I can't be all emotional. I can't say that. It was the emotions, it was the feelings, it was what we were going through, it was the pain, it was the truth. It was the things that gave you a voice because let's be real, music gave voice to people who could not scream out loud. It gave you the ability to say it without saying it while you were saying it so people could hear it and they could feel it and they could be a part of it. And it didn't matter where you played that music, where you played that beat, something stirred up on the inside of you and you felt it, you cried with it, you laughed with it, you enjoyed it. You felt like, oh, this thing encouraged me. I could keep on. I'm stronger now. It gave you all of those things.
Mhm.
Soul embodies that. And when you
And
put that to music, oh my God. Go ahead, Wayne. I'm
absolutely.
sorry.
No, you're good. Anybody else, and
ooh,
each one of y'all have a valid answer. There's no right or wrong here.
There's no right or wrong. That's just in my opinion.
well,
No, this
it's
is interesting.
it's a complicated question for me. Like I said, I give the youthful perspective on the conversation here, and I can't say I really grew up with music that embodied the soul of anything for real. It's not that
Hmm.
I didn't listen to music that didn't like have that type of stuff in it. It's just nowhere near as prevalent nowadays, like I was saying earlier. So I like I was telling you before, I have to go back. I have to find the soul that was originally made within rap music in order for me to truly understand the root of where it came from and how that I can express the fact that it has been stolen. Because that was when Ma brought up the question to me, it was a lot more thing of me thinking about how exactly the art form had been taken from us and
Mm.
doing the research on it. I was like, yeah, I can definitely see what they mean. Like, and I don't mean to be rude with the wording here, but the best thing that can come to my head is that they bastardized the meaning of what rap is. They've made it, they've dumbed it down so much that people have decided to take
Mm.
the technical standpoint of things over the over what they're actually trying to say. And AI, I heard Auntie say something about AI while she was talking about soul and how, to be fair, I see exactly why you brought that up as the antithesis. I see them as complete opposites. You
Hmm.
use artificial intelligence in a medium like that to create music, let alone create music of dead people, is baffling to me in various aspects.
Hmm.
it's it doesn't have soul. It's the same thing that I would face in the film industry nowadays. I'm assuming you guys have heard about the video making artificial intelligences, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Those types of things are fundamentally coming for my job.
I,
When you get good enough, like you can use them for so many different aspects. People have already been taking these things and creating productions that could have never been possible otherwise.
We're gonna get in a little bit of detail with that. Give me 3 minutes.
Ooh,
3
okay.
minutes. I want to get into detail with that.
Okay.
There's a specific thing that you said, or maybe you're shadowing, or maybe we have as elders to the younger,
Mhm.
and it's not a bash. I'm not gonna. It's not an attack. But when you guys say soul, when it deals with where we are now currently and ourselves, you know what I hear?
Yeah. What's up?
I hear reason.
Hmm.
There's no reason behind what you're doing. Like if the young cats ain't got nothing to do, then what do you think they're gonna talk about?
Nothing.
You know
Whole
what I
lot.
mean? Like I grew up like every day was a damn adventure. Like I'm one of the dying breeds of following very coarse principles. You leave out the house, like if you were young as I was back in the 80s, you knew this rule. If you hurt yourself and you come inside, what happens? You stay inside. You don't ever want to stay inside. That was how we grew up. Like when you left out, when you're supposed to come home was when the porch lights came on.
Mm-hmm. I knew that one.
You know what I mean? And while you were out, guess what you're not supposed to get contacted by? You got everybody got a Miss Ethel out there that's looking through the window blinds. Don't
Right.
you go now? Don't you go near Miss Ethel's house?
Hmm.
If you're gonna act a fool, keep your ass away from Miss Ethel's house. I don't want to hear nothing from Miss Ethel. Because if Miss Ethel say one more thing, I swear to God, I'm gonna put boot to hand.
Oh.
That's how we were brought up.
Mm,
We had a reason to tell our story.
mm. That's
Nowadays, it's like
Yeah, I
I'm
was.
privileged to have everything. Once I have everything that we didn't have, I didn't have most of the shit my kids have, but they don't have much to talk about. So anything that they hear, I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about? But I get it, but I don't. But I'm
ooh.
thankful that I raised them enough to say, hey, talk to me like I'm dad, the old man. They still think that I was a slave because I was born in 1983.
You were born in the
They
1900s.
said, "How did it feel?"
Oh no.
My kids. No, let me tell y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all a story. This is rude. My son decided for his fifth grade project he wanted to do a he had to do a biography on
Man.
elder like the post like the 1900s. He considers me to be in the 1900s. He sat down with his pen in his hand. And I'm looking at him. I've never seen him have a pen in his hand a day in his life. Normally he's typing something, but he was like, "We're told we gotta write it." He put a pen in his hand. He said, "So how did it feel having that like ride a horse home from school every day?" I said, "Bitch, who are you talking to?
I, oh, that sounds like something I would say when I was
Who
a kid.
are you talking
That's
to, son?"
crazy.
And he was like, "Well, what?" I said, "We had cars." He said, "Did you use a key?"
Oh,
Oh,
what?
Go
did
to
you
bed.
use a key?
Take your ass to bed. Say that to your mom and see what she say. I want you to say that to your mom and see what you say. Say that to your mom. Like
You're
I
trying to get
caught her. I
somebody's
said,
Ask
"Hey,
your
face
what your
mammy.
dad said? What
rearranged.
your kids said? Your kids say that you look old. Your kids said you got Flintstone feet. Talk to them." But there's a cultural difference between how we were raised and our experiences and our reason for why we do what we do. And then we have the generation that we're building up. They don't have much reason.
Ooh,
Not
that's.
to say that you don't have purpose in a niche, but what is the reason behind it?
Oh no, you're absolutely right. My generation, Gen Z, uh, we don't have much when it comes down to it. Was something I wrote down, which was something that you had brought up, is a lot of us lived vicariously through technology. we didn't get to go outside because our parents were scared of what was going on outside. So we had television and we got phones, social media. These things fundamentally skewed the way that we think. And it's become a lot more of a situation where I feel like that links directly to why our music doesn't have purpose. If we grew up purposeless, like you were saying, there isn't anything for us to put in our music because we didn't go through anything. Like, and not to say that everybody's got the same story and all of that. I think my childhood was pretty eventful, but it's a situation where a lot of people realize those feelings either.
Hey, stop real quick. Third vibration, we gotta check it. There we go. Bless you.
It's doing something. It's doing something.
Somebody wants to contact you, brother. Hey, or sis. But go ahead.
But yeah, it's a tough situation for us. It's we grew up because now we're not the newest generation anymore. There's Generation Alpha, which is what my little sisters are in, and it kind of scares me a bit thinking about it because I feel like we can all kind of agree that the quality and the meaning behind music nowadays has infinitely deteriorated in comparison to when you guys were kids. You got to be thinking about what these young children are hearing in their cars from their parents. Like, a little bit of a side tangent. I hear a lot of teachers nowadays consistently talking about children coming from people like Metro Atlanta is a great example, actually. But it was a situation in which a lot of teachers in the Metro Atlanta area were unanimously saying that the children were coming out. Ooh.
Oh my God! I broke it. Wait.
Oh no.
Oh.
All right, we're back.
I meant to get you. I'm so sorry.
But yeah,
Please go ahead.
okay. I've just been hearing a lot from a lot of teachers online. They've consistently been posting to social media how unwilling young children are to learn within school. And I'm smart enough to know that school isn't about the things that you're learning in it. It's about creating the structure and the drive for you to be able to complete projects over a long period of time. Like, you're not going to take the majority of stuff that you get from school and use that in your day-to-day life. Like, I'm not out here A squared plus B squared equals C squared on every single thing that I'm doing nowadays. Like, the majority of stuff the majority of stuff that I learned in high school is irrelevant to me now. But it's consistently become a situation where kids my age have prided themselves within the wrong things. Like we were talking about in the beginning with Crips and Bloods, gang culture in general. There are so many young people who have prided themselves on gang culture before they even came out of high school, and then never let themselves succeed past that point. I saw so many people drop out at 16 from my high school. My high school only had a 50% graduation rate year to year. Like,
what?
Yeah, 50%, even half. 50% of the people graduated, the other 50% dropped out. It's
most of the hood motherfuckers I know all got a high school diploma. Let me tell you something. I'm sorry. They ain't play.
Yeah.
It was different.
Yeah, fundamentally different. It's almost
like we made our mess in school, which is probably why school is so messed up. But we went to school.
School was different.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't
like you don't know what it feels like for everybody to know your report card. Like, do you know what it looks like to have everybody get
everybody knew your fucking age. That shit was open book, right on the teacher's desk and everything. Like,
There
You
was no
want
hiding from
serious, you
it.
want serious.
Yeah.
Nobody
You knew
from it.
what
You
it
either got that
meant.
motherfucking blue, black, or
It was
red.
no
You ain't never
secrets.
want to get that red.
In
Alice, they
plain
said
black
it
and white.
again. And let me tell y'all this: when the teacher passing out the test, and you know what this mean when they passing out the test, and they get to the one student, I ain't gonna say which student it was on here, might have been me too, and they flip your test over.
Uh-huh.
Right.
I know that feeling. I know that
When
feeling.
he put it face down. Come
I know that feeling. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. They flip your
Oh,
test over. You hope that you got a music and arts right the period after, because you don't want to deal with that, because everybody knows what that means. You
fast.
didn't pass, my nigga. You didn't pass, especially if it was an easy test.
Sheesh.
Ah man. You'd be
There were
surprised.
certain things that we just knew. Nowadays, it's like, I don't know. They teaching kids about STDs at a more commensurate and a younger rate. Um,
Sixth grade
you know,
generally nowadays.
I mean, it used to be fifth grade for us, but then they dropped down. When my daughter came home, my youngest daughter, she was like, I'm like, well, I was school. I pick her up on Fridays. I said, how was school? She said, we talked about sex. I said, motherfucker, you in third grade.
Oh, oh
She's
wow.
like, yeah, somebody had a bump on their lip. I said,
Mhm.
That's crazy.
oh.
That's crazy.
She said, yeah, they called it HPV 1, which means this. I say, well, the timeout. Timeout. Motherfucker, what's three plus seven? She said, I said, all right, shut up. You don't even need to talk. And I had to like contact them and understand why they were talking about what they were talking about. And why does this tie into music? I want to explain to you why it ties into music. Y'all, everything that music is teaching them, they are doing. If you're saying get money, then all they're thinking about is getting money. They don't care about how to get it.
By any
They
means
just want to
necessary.
get it.
Look.
You know what I mean? If they talking about hustle hard, they if you have not seen a man hustle hard or a woman hustle hard, you have no idea what hustle hard means rather than a strategic plan to do something lazy.
I want to bring up something so crazy that over the past couple of days that I discovered with asking different algorithms, AI, some things about us, like our culture, what it is that AI is going to do and what it does considering us, music making, creation, all of that stuff. And it said something so crazy to me. It said, I can steal the record, but never the rhythm. I can mimic the melody, but never the meaning. And then it says something about this new digital age where it said where Black creators dance the culture into existence only to watch the algorithms forget their faces. So basically, I can take what it is that you create and I can duplicate it, but I can't actually create rhythm. I can't actually create melody. I can't actually create soul. I can't actually give it anything. All I can do is duplicate what you have. And to some, it makes sense. But that's it telling us I don't have anything, I don't even have a soul. I'm just real good at mimicking what it is that you do naturally. And if you can't catch that, if you can't realize that, that's not enough. Then I make you the money that you're looking for without any of the actual effort.
Mhm.
Blown, blown.
Question, and I asked Corderius earlier. Did y'all see Sinners?
Hmm.
Alice, okay. Did y'all catch the message in Sinners? So I asked the question, where did all of the music we know now, where did it stem from as it pertains to United States and us as Black Americans? If we said it, we said soul, and we said beyond soul and the understanding of souls. But what's the understanding and what's beyond soul, which is blues? Have you ever studied the origin of blues? Is to make sense of what's not sensible. That's blues music. I'm putting like we have our major scale, but blues allows the major scale to be bent and manipulated. So it's like do re mi fa sol la ti do. Ready? Blues allows do re mi fa sol la ti do. It allows that to happen, and you find a reason as to why that person did those do re mi fa. They find a reason as to why you did that, and through that reason, there's a shared experience, which then calibrates another journey of music. That's what blues is.
Hmm.
Why do you think everybody loves BB King? And they were like, let me siphon everything from BB King. That is not a smoke detector. That's my microwave. I'm sorry. But if you
Okay.
listen to a lot of why does everybody love Aretha Franklin? And it's not all of Aretha, because Aretha talks about some powerful stuff. But if you get down to her ballads, even with the piano, she's still kind of bending a lot of her notes that I used to feel so uninspired. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, you make me feel. And all of a sudden, even the niggas are saying, you. That's right, baby. You go ahead and feel how you feel, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna make you feel how you should. And that's
Hmm.
there's a reason behind it, and you can feel the reason. So I appreciate y'all for saying the truth. Soul is what makes it. Blues is the originator of what we deem melodic in today's culture,
Hmm.
which gives us reason. Isn't that crazy? Y'all
Yeah.
saw Sinners, right? I challenge anybody that saw the movie Sinners, right when the young man was about to play the guitar at the little club, right when he plays, listen to that little dissertation. Stop right there and then go back to the beginning of the movie. You gonna be like, oh shit, they took everything.
Also, look around to the roots connected
Mm-hmm.
because it went so far back onto tantric sounds that weren't automated. It went back to that thick drum that was made from the hide of some animal. It went back to that different style of dress that symbolized everything that we are: war, peace, birth, happiness. It went back there. It didn't just stop at the cute stuff that we see all dressed up in suits and ties and pretty dresses. This thing went back to running around in what we call dirt and pushing around and deciding we're going to go forward and we're going to be heard and we're going to give a message and we're going to propel that which we know into the future. It took so many steps. And all the people, all the entities that arrived at the moment that he began to sing and open his mouth and open the door for everything to come in, it let us know that our roots, they're not so easily rebuilt. They're not so easily dust over. It goes deeper. It has foundation. It has power. It has resonance. That's something real.
No, I absolutely agree. And while you were off record, I was trying to reload and get my other my video app up. Let me see if I got it. Oh, here it is.
Uh-oh, you got it?
Hmm.
Oh, and for the record, that ain't ours either. Did y'all know that? That is by the Middle Easterners. We
Mhm.
took it, revamped it, and gave it back to
Mhm.
them.
Oh,
I feel
What
like
on
we
here?
are the birthplace and the resonance of every single culture.
Oh
and
yeah,
not
we
even,
definitely recreate everything,
no
and
matter
I think it's
how
beautiful.
you turn it and you spin it and you re-embody it, every bit of it speaks to the first voice that gave you the first beat. You didn't know the
Absolutely.
beat, and you didn't know freedom in the beat. You didn't know happiness in the beat until you heard it. Now, maybe you heard a little something else, like, and maybe it had a little bit more tenor, and maybe it had a tad bit more alto. But when it comes down to the resonance of that, it beats through everything.
Absolutely. I agree with that. So we're gonna start this one from the beginning. You
Oh,
know, you know, let me say something real quick before we even start this. TikTok, I know y'all want to feed us a lot of nonsense and information and whatever the case may be, but give us a moment. The moment we slide that motherfucker back, the first thing y'all want to do is be like, oh, you ain't see it? Let me say it again. Give me a minute to set my stuff up. Maybe I want to put my headphones in and I maybe missed the first crucial 4 seconds. Maybe motherfucker just want to hear what exactly is going on. Please excuse my little midget rant. I feel some type of way.
I'm
God damn,
screaming.
you got my motherfucking fingers fucking clamped up trying to get you to mute and then play at the same fucking time.
The speed at where you better catch second one, two,
Shit.
three, or you miss something. Yeah, yeah.
God. Sure.
Art form created by free black men. And no black man has taken more advantage of his freedom than Kanye West. So I can't wait for y'all to hear. Okay? I can't wait to watch you experience what you're about to see. Listen without prejudice. And I bring to you right now the greatest, the latest Kanye West.
What do you want me to talk about? The man I describe in the introduction as being so decidedly different. I got a chance to share not only what he has meant to me, but what he has meant to a generation. What did I teach him? And why Kanye ain't scared?
Not gonna lie, y'all. Not gonna lie. I'm thankful. I'm thankful for the ability to separate the artist from the behavior of a person or the nature of a person. I believe that Kanye he's been through some affliction, then has some results to show for them. But that motherfucker's artistry, it's top tier. Like it's second to who? His musical artistry when it comes in the hip hop game, it's second to who?
mm.
This is an open floor. Like that's a question. Who
Well,
is above Kanye when it comes to his overall hip hop artistry?
I am the wrong person to ask because I agree with you. Kanye is probably the best to ever do it, in my opinion. And from a personal standpoint, I definitely feel like I relate a lot to how Kanye had to present himself when he first burst onto the scene. He was a kid who grew up in terrible neighborhoods, but never let that affect who he was. I'm the exact same way. I grew up on some of the worst streets in Dorchester, Massachusetts. I went through a lot, but I was never allowed the opportunity to engross myself in the lifestyle that I lived right next to. And I thank my mother for that mostly. But it's a situation in which you've got to really, him and I feel like there was just a lot to relate to personally with me. Our stories in the brass tacks are decently similar. And his artistry, his music, his journey, you can track who he was as a person by what album you listen to. Like, it's beautiful. Almost.
That is facts. Keep on going, brother.
Come on, nephew.
It's this I grew up listening to Kanye. Like Niggas in Paris was my family's road trip song. Like we would listen to that and know every single word of it. And I still do, I'm pretty sure. Like it's
till today.
Facts. He's had such a monumental impact on my life. And learning more about him and listening to his music now that I have grown up to be an adult and I've seen more of the world, you don't know how hard Heartless hits after you've been through some some crazy stuff with somebody.
Yeah, good.
Kristen, you better not put your hand on this anointed vessel and do that. He is speaking his truth. I promise. Listen.
Come on, nephew. Be yourself. We're listening.
It's a real thing, and like I think his first album, I was well shit. I think I was going into my junior year in college.
Oh wow.
And that was my last year in college, was his first album. It was at 2006. 2005.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yo, and to know that all that he said is inevitably what he's done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even to some of the crazy songs, like you were just like, you're right. Okay, he's really not okay.
No, not at all.
So now we get to start here. We get to go on the path of mental health and understand what mental health looks like. Because I really believe that without a lot of his influence, I would have never went into that journey of mental health and behavioral health. Because like to see a man have a whole collapse and you're worth like $500 million at the time, and you literally break, you're just like,
that's what freedom of truth actually looks like.
Yeah.
It's really so foreign to us that when we hear it, we're like,
absolutely. I was like,
first thing we're going to do is be like, how dare you? You can't do that. No. No. And then we're like, wait, if you're going to go ahead and expose your truth, I can maybe expose a little bit more of my truth. Didn't they tell you that you can't talk about Jesus and then they go play it? Didn't they tell you that if you say what's really going on in that head of yours that they're not going to play it? Didn't they tell you that too much truth is going to destroy your album? Didn't they tell you that if you run after what beats in this heart and resonates in this soul, that they not gonna play it? Not only did we play it, but not only we followed it, and then it turned on a light for everybody, didn't it? It was like for real. Oh, so I could just go ahead and say that it's not taboo. I'm gonna go ahead and tell the truth then. I'm gonna say that out loud. I'm gonna be free in my thoughts. I'm gonna be free in my move. And I don't know what this is, if it's a strategy or what it is, but I'm feeling a little more open to who I am and myself. That gave us roots, that connected us to what we're accustomed to, what we know. That's facts. That's bloodline. That's I really hurt. This really broke me. This is really what's going on inside my head. I'm not saying that he need a little help. Obviously, he needed a little help.
A lot of
But the moment that we realized he needed a little help, we were all like, damn, I need a little help too. Maybe I'm not all that perfect. But here I am ready to say it out loud now because you said it out loud. And when you go to telling your story, it empowers me to tell my story unfiltered, undoctored, unwaved about, but way behind. To rip the veil. Here I am. This is me. And we got a new window. We got a new avenue. And it opened up doors. I'm gonna do it.
I think that that's that's important. And that's where we came from as far as like music. Like I remember even down to like R&B. Like when we talk about like the original soul before it transitioned, turn
Mm-hmm.
out the lights. Um,
Turn
boom,
'em out. Hey.
light a candle. But before you got a chance, that motherfucker will yell at you. Turn them off, and then you be that would be a real thing. Like like we knew what shit was hitting for as we like went through the music. Like I
Mhm.
said, I'm going to be steadfast. I'm going to be steadfast and say that the late 90s, 98, 99 to 2000 really messed us up. That's between hip hop and R&B. It really messed us up. Y'all let Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera into the club. Y'all let JT into the club. And stuff got really weird. That's why I asked y'all if y'all saw Sinners. Y'all let Pink in the club. I love Pink. I know Pink. We graduated not from the same school, but in the same class. We in the same age group. I know her. We was down the street neighbors. Like I know her. We ain't lived much more than 10 minutes away from each other. But you let her into a community that wasn't, and I fucks with Pink. There she go, looking so beautiful, before I let you go. There she go. That was R&B at the time before the infiltration happened. And once the infiltration happened, they took what they had and they made it what it is today. Now, pop culture, we're arguing if pop culture is really even ours. Who's the king of pop?
I said, is that even a question? Like,
Even if it was a question, who's the prince?
true.
So we got both of them staples right there. So you still on third generation. It's ours. So however we decide to sub-delegate what pop is, what rap is, what hip hop is, anything musically on American soil is ours.
Okay, that's understandable. Like, I get where you're coming from the standpoint of wanting to be able to reclaim what's ours. I do get that, but you got to look at it from the standpoint of evolution. I'd say, like, these types of things are ever evolving mediums. I do get that the
Sure.
roots are becoming very, very muddled, and we aren't at the core of what made the concepts of hip hop and rap originally. I can 100% agree with that. And I
Mhm.
also think that the way that rap is going nowadays has definitely taken a few wrong turns, a lot more embellishment over reality, etc., etc. But at the end of the day, it's going to be really, really hard for us as a community to get back to that point if we continuously bring up the fact, like, it's a situation where, as someone from a younger generation who was not as affected by the same issues that you guys were, I learned a lot of this stuff from Ma. Like, I had to learn about the entirety of the 80s and 90s from her because I ain't want to trust what the internet,
Mhm.
and that's lived experience right there.
Come on, nephew.
Shouts out to you.
Shouts out.
It's a complicated situation with rap music. I would definitely want rap music that has a lot more purpose or soul, either one. Like it, and I wrote it down that you were talking about earlier. The way that I use the word soul kind of indicates more like reason or purpose, and I 100% agree. Like thinking about it, I know they are not the same word; they don't have the same meaning, but from a fundamental standpoint, they kind of both harp on the same points for me, which is the purposelessness of our generation when it comes down to what we want to give to the rest of the world. We were taught from a young age that like all of these different issues were going to stop the world from being sustainable for long periods of time, and et cetera, et cetera. We were growing up with a very nihilistic mindset of things, which now us coming in as adults, we barely know what to do with ourselves. I got lucky. I found out what I wanted to do for the rest of my life when I was in 8th grade. Like I got lucky there. I knew people in high school, graduating year of high school. I asked them what they wanted to do with the rest of their lives, and they genuinely didn't know. And that wasn't an uncommon thing. The majority of the people that I graduated with did not have a game plan for after we walked off of that stage. And I feel like that's a lot more indicative of the type of music that we're hearing nowadays, and just in general, all of the different issues that come into community and stolen culture and all of these other things. Because at the end of the day, the people who are going to keep up the culture are my generation now. We have to be the ones that want to perpetuate these types of things. Because if we don't, then why is Gen Alpha going to care? Like, we can't.
Right. And that's the real bottom line. And you hit some nails, bro. Like one of the main things are what we pass down, and who are the examples of us passing down. Like I'm thankful that like from an 80s baby, I got to experience Ella Fitzgerald. I got to experience Sammy Davis Jr. I got to experience what's his name? Isley Brothers, Ronald Isley. I got to experience like this is from like the 50s and the 40s.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like saying it now, like it sounds crazy, but if you look at 40 years from me, that's what we would listen to. Because I was born in 83, and 40 years from me at 43.
Mhm.
If I look at 40 years from me now, what in 83 or 84 or even in the 80s would be substantial for the generation after me to experience?
Mm.
What are they holding on to? And that's what I mean. Is not how the world is turning is our fault. I would never do that. I don't believe in that. But I will say is as far as legacy, what are we leaving?
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
D'Angelo, and if you didn't notice, it's Chestnut Checkers. I brought you on once we talked about D'Angelo. Something interesting is I can guarantee you that the reason why your little ass is here is because of a D'Angelo tune or two.
Look.
That's my queen on the chessboard. Like D'Angelo, he was able to tell the truth about his journey. One of the beautiful things that we knew in our, Lovey and ours and Christine and Kristen's journey is that we knew the artists that we dealt with. You know what I mean? Like we knew they wasn't shit, and we loved them anyway. You know what I mean? Like some stuff we just knew about some of the artists we love. Like Diddy, what happened with Diddy? It's no surprise to some of us. We were just like, it's about damn time.
I
I
mean,
fuck with
really.
his. Most of us were like, I fuck with his suits, and I ain't really bang with Ciroc like that.
I felt
But
like
look,
y'all were
you see
late
what
to
I'm
the
saying?
party.
Like, but other than that, everybody else was like, man, fuck Diddy. You know what I mean? There wasn't
Y'all late.
much, and I know that everybody wants to say, "Oh, he was
Listen,
this
I still,
musically. He wasn't
you will
who."
never get me not to play a Diddy song. Diddy got too many hits for me not to play Diddy.
Speaking facts. Like I can't.
That would be like you putting away R. Kelly too, and a bunch of other people for that matter.
And
Exactly. 112. You expect me? You expect me
Diddy,
not to jam
Diddy,
112? What?
but
Diddy
that's
alone got hits by himself.
and that's the
Listen,
thing. I'm like, if we were to sit down and judge most of the people on what their personal lives are and their behaviors are, like our generation, we're able to be like, you know what? They wasn't shit. They were a little weird, a little fucked up. But we understood their music. Teddy P, Al Green, Marvin Gaye. They all had some real weird ass personal lives that we. Do y'all know about their personal lives? One of them slept with a trans. One of
But
them got
we
killed by
also
their
have to
daddy, and
take
the other one got.
accountability. We have to take accountability, my nigga, about the shit that was going on before any cameras, any fucking videotape or anything like that came out. This shit has been going on.
It has
They're
been.
just catching up to
forever,
it. They're just
And
forever.
that's
catching
what
up
I'm
to it
saying.
forever. I mean, so what's the
And that's what
difference?
I'm saying
I
for
mean,
us and
we can't
our.
scold one person and not scold the other people that has been molding the people that we
And
now know
you're
about.
100% correct. And that's what I'm saying. It's difficult for us in our generation to be like, you know
Clyde
what?
Davis and
We
all
gonna
of
we gonna throw away the whole artist because what their personal lives were. We can't do that. And that's why it's such a struggle. You know what I mean?
Here's
Like that's
where
why it's so hard for us to be like, let me degrade Michael Jackson or degrade Kanye. We can't do it or degrade Diddy. It hurts to do that because I'm like, this is my life. You know, this is. Go ahead, Lovey.
here's where it plays something different. When we came up, we knew some stuff, didn't we? About what people did behind closed doors, about what the truth was about their lifestyle, about what it was that was the secret thing. And it didn't change the fact that we listened to that music, did it? We actually put a little more oomph into the pain that drove them, some of their trauma, some of their whatever. Today, that same thing that was hiding behind the music is now used as an excuse and a smokescreen. Pete, the moment that someone tells us the truth, they then uncover something that happened with one of our favorite artists. And now, because we can see it, not that we didn't know it, but now because we can see it, now we're so stuck on that one thing. We're going to share that thing. We're going to talk about that thing. And so and so did this. And we're going to so and so did this for the next month. And at the same time, what's been monotonized and monopolized is our attention. In that process of time, I'm able to pass a law, delete an amendment, move on your community, destroy your safety, destroy laws that have been laid in process since the 30s, the
Infiltrate.
40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. I don't care how you marched and cried and screamed and whatever. I can now undo it if I can play games with your mind and your attention. So, yes, we knew it. We saw it, we understood it, and we moved on because music does what music does, right? Today, we get caught up in the what? He did what? Oh my God. And we miss 30 to 60 days of what's actually happening that we're not paying attention to. And obviously, they figured out the synopsis on how our minds work. Yeah, they need some music to feel uplifted. They need some music to feel like they're free. Woo, yeah, I'm gonna let this go. Come on, y'all, feel free. And then so and so did X, Y, and Z. this happened over the weekend. So and so beat on this person. This one slept with that one. This one's pregnant with this one's baby while this one's doing this, that, the other. And here we are caught up in stuff that we normally swept aside and held onto the body of the work. And instead of the body of the work, we're caught up in he said, she said, and the story of it all. That's a mess.
Hmm. I feel like I can give an interesting perspective on that.
And share your thoughts, brother.
Come
Well,
on, baby.
for one, Ma hates me for this, and Auntie I think knows where I'm about to go with this. I try to think of every single point and standpoint from not taking it from the standpoint of race, because if we are to move forward as a people collectively, we need to look at these issues without using any sort of racial bias, regardless of what race we are, et cetera, et cetera. I do agree that time has been monopolized and propagandized against all people, first and foremost. I completely agree with that. Black people, my entire generation has had our attention spans infinitely diminished over a period of time just by social media in and of itself. TikTok has fundamentally destroyed our attention spans. And if we are going to take the crux of the issue, which was the purposeful wasting of time, that's what I got from what Auntie was just saying. They do things to sideline us from what's actually going on. Like, do y'all remember when the entire world was encapsulated on that Johnny Depp trial that didn't really fucking matter at all?
Didn't matter.
It didn't matter at all. Celebrity news by itself. TMZ has made a multi-billion-dollar platform on talking about irrelevant shit.
Irrelevant bullshit.
Like, nobody's got, if you're genuinely paying attention to that shit, you're wasting time, in my opinion. Like, it's a waste. And I want people to spend their time to actually do research on things and learn the things that actually make sense. Because a lot of people take what they see on the internet, what they see on TikTok or Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts, whatever they're scrolling on, they'll take that as fact without doing any research on what they're actually talking about. It's the most modern form of what Auntie was talking about, in my opinion. And I feel like it's yet another major issue that's fundamentally destroying not just Black people, but all people. Like, it's a big issue, I feel like, just generally. But to talk specifically about where we've been, where it's been taken in terms of Black culture, etc., it's always a different, like, this is why I don't watch major news networks, etc. But there's always something that's talking about Black people or bringing an issue about Black people on the news that's not genuinely benefiting or giving us the correct perspective on the issue. News networks are notoriously good at hiding information. So it becomes a lot more of a situation where even with the music, our history, our culture in general is being jeopardized by people who, one, don't genuinely know what they're talking about, two, don't have the information necessary to talk about it, and three, are just trying to waste our time. And I do completely agree. I feel like it's a situation where we need to prioritize our time better in order to fix the communities that we've had. And another thing that's been brought up multiple times, or at least once, was the cocaine crack epidemic. Reagan dropping all of that shit into Black communities and fundamentally destroying the Black family. But it's a situation. I hate that I just say that so casually, like that's not a bomb. That's just, it's been a part
Hey,
of
our PTSD.
That's our reality.
Like, we're all
That's-
like, we have our
Look.
scars, not wounds, still.
Word, that's super reality.
right.
That's reality.
We are where we are, and to your point,
Mhm.
to your point, I fucks with you a little bit. I do. I fucks with you a little bit. I'm not,
A whole lot. Come on, and go
I'm
ahead and
gonna
expose
touch
the
base on a
truth.
couple of things though, with love.
Mhm.
One of the things that and the reason why that we do have to identify why race matters is because we won't go forward until we identify what race is.
True.
And once we understand what race is, as it deals with what we do culturally, systematically, communally, eh, we'll immediately allow it to infect us rather than externally teaching our partners, our friends, or whatever the case may be, our constituents, what's appropriate, what's not appropriate, and then allowing the adaptation to naturally take place.
Mm.
That's the
Race.
part that is going to be hard
So
for
I'll
the
say it
simple
this way.
fact. It's
Go ahead,
not
go
even
ahead.
about race anymore. Oh my bad, bro. It's not even about race anymore. It's about who got the best who has the best beats,
Say it.
who has the best lyrics, who is more tuned in the hood and stuff like that. When a lot of these people out here, and I'm gonna say 85, 89% of all these rappers out here aren't about what they talk. It's all a fashion statement nowadays. It's never
Go
going
ahead
to
and
change.
hit
It's
that
just going to get
95%
worse.
because that's the
Wait,
truth.
say that statement again. It's a what statement? It's propaganda.
Huh? It's a fashion statement.
95%, bro. It
Right.
is.
So for me, when I look at
Because all this music that we're listening to nowadays is only prone to let's not say that the hip hop media is more prone to getting more people just to like what the fuck is going on.
right,
It's a storyline now. It's not even a real story. It's a fairy tale. I
it's
No,
mean,
an
a lot of
excuse.
these people talk about.
I feel like it is.
I can't even say it's an excuse. It's definitely not an excuse.
It's a
It's
facade.
more so. This is yes. This is what's now. This is what's now, and so
It's
everybody is going to
BS.
talk about it. Now, I mean, it's all fuck niggas, so we're going to get all the fuck nigga music. It's fuck bitches, so we're going to get all the fuck bitches music. Oh shit, that man is trapping. You know what? I could trap too. I'm going to talk about trapping. I'm going to talk about shooting. I'm not going to talk about fighting. That's not what we're talking about. We're
Nothing
going to talk about
sufferable,
shooting.
right?
We're going to talk
Right.
about nothing, nothing.
By all means, don't talk
Nothing to
about the
make
shooting.
people believe that this is where this is really how you're being brought up and all this type of stuff. Let me not take away from the people that are talking about the shit that they're being brought up on, because a lot of these rappers are basically talking about what they are prone what they're prone to go through in life. They're talking about the stuff that they're going through. I can't say that it's not realistic or anything like that because I'll be downplaying people. But what they
Right.
are speaking of doesn't make sense to the person with common sense.
Hmm. Yeah, that's wow. I feel like I wouldn't even call it a facade or nothing anymore. Like it's people perpetuating the lifestyle that they've
That has
had.
kept me away. That has kept me away from a lot of stuff. Even like doing a lot of stuff with a lot of people, it has kept me away from doing shit with a lot of people because I don't want to get, I don't want to make ties or bonds with people that aren't really on the same page about what they're talking about. I mean,
Mhm.
so it has stopped me from doing that, and I mean, and I can't relate to you. If I can't relate to you, it's just like me having a friend. I'm not going to be around. I'm not going to really listen to you or
Right.
anything like that.
Now, and the
You're just a
thing is,
bot now. Like,
if I know that this is who you are, and you real about who you are, then I'll bang with you. And that's what part of the music and the culture was like. There was so many artists back in the day, and there's so many people back in that time that was like, we know they a little fucked up. We know they a little something wrong with them, but we still fucks with them. Like, there's no way you can tell me that an entire community and culture fuck with a little 5'3" light skinned man with a perm with his ass cheeks hanging out that wore heels.
Sometimes not too much of my uncle,
We
man.
just knew. We
Not too
knew.
Again,
much of my uncle.
scream at me.
We
Well,
knew. We just he wasn't ashamed. And we was like, you know what? He wasn't ashamed. I ain't worried about it. Like most brothers that I know, they don't have an issue with the RuPaul style community because they was honest with who they are. What becomes difficult for us when it's like, all right, you say you're this way, right? But your actionable life is over here. That's when it becomes difficult. You can't
I
be
feel
like, oh, I'm
like
a nervous ass little person that only weighs 120 pounds, but somehow it's 5'11" and 6'3", and you only got 140 pounds on you, talking about the extra pound on your body is the gun that you threatening to shoot somebody with.
horrible.
Not when we know how this shit and then this life works. Like, where's your weight? We know.
They ain't got one. That's the whole thing.
Like we know when you're not like the first thing that when I can't speak for Alistair. Let's take music out of it. If Alistair were to ever tell me that he's about that life, I'm gonna look at certain aspects of who he is to validate it. I'm gonna look at his hands, I'm gonna look at his cheekbones, I'm gonna look at his jawline. Can he knock me out and can I knock him out? And if I find out that all that he's saying is boop, 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 and I find out that this man's hand is brittle because my experience of seeing hands, there's no damage to the mandibles. There's no damage here. There's no cushion here. You know what to look for. You know what I mean? There's no cushion on the jawline.
You
There's
ain't
no
got that calluses. You ain't got them
yeah. I'm gonna be
scars. Not
looking at you
mean, not
like
mean no blimp.
Ain't
Like
no evidence.
I'm gonna be looking like what? And it's the same with music. When and
Facts.
and most of us in our genre, and I'm not putting them on or putting them out there or judging them, I'm not condemning. Most of us know about Pac. We know about Tupac. We know what he became when he went over to the West Coast, and we know who he was before he got there. It's it just is what it is. What y'all call him to be over on the West Coast is what y'all call him to be. What we know him to be is not that.
Yeah.
Bill Cosby. Let's not do rat. We knew. We know and we knew. But when the truth came out, and I think that, you know what, the Me Too movement, I think that really covered up a lot of the reasoning and the soul behind music. It's
Really?
like absolutely. If you can do it, then so can I. If you can talk about
Yeah.
struggle, then so can I. If you can talk about heartbreak, then so can I. When did Taylor Swift become popular? 2014.
I can't say that the Me Too had a thing about that shit because you taking away from the Beastie Boys, you taking away from, I mean, Rolling Stone and all that type of
Don't
shit.
you
This is
ever
way
insult
before the
them.
Me Too and
Don't
all
you
that shit came
don't you
out.
insult them good people.
Damn.
Don't you insult did you want to hear about breakup songs?
I feel
Yes.
like two things happen
Did
in
you?
our culture that are real
Yes.
prevalent. We all know a thing and it's been true
Yes.
to us and it's not a lie and nobody had to make it up, but we ain't got to talk about it because their body of work it talks enough. The moment that we come out of that struggle, the moment that we step outside of what someone can call us to and say we're accused of, and we want to evolve, we want to step up and do something different, that is the moment that we get hung. Oh my God, you're not allowed to purchase that and have that. How dare you accumulate this and think you can evolve? Absolutely not. Now I'm about to expose every bit of your weakness. It isn't that we didn't know it. It's just that it seems so big because now it's the most prevalent thing. Forget the body of work. Forget the part where we were like, oh my God, we could be better. Oh my God, we could have more. Oh my God, you told the story, and I was like, oh my God, that was me. That was me. I felt that. That was deep down in my soul. That was deep down in my spirit. Forget all that stuff. The whole body of work for 5 seconds of you're guilty of this, you're guilty of this, you're guilty of this. And you know what that does? It prevents us from walking into the new doors that we've created with all the finances that we've grown for the body of work that we actually created. And every single one of our flaws is now on Front Street. Now we're distracted because all we're listening to is she did, he did this. But forget the fact that you've now become a millionaire, a billionaire, and you're about ready to purchase the thing that creates a different conversation. I want to decide that what presents on this channel is this. I want to decide that now that I've come to this plateau, this level, let's change the conversation. I'm tired of the media because, as it turns out, the media is all a bunch of BS. I want to tell the truth. You're not allowed to tell the truth. How dare you? How dare you think that after we put all our money into you and your synopsis and your lie and whatever, your body of work, screw that. I'm not about to let you get control of something so that you can tell the truth. How dare you think that that's even possible? You thought you was free, didn't you? We're about to expose you, and now you can go back to the bottom because I don't think so. You don't get that. You can do what we say as it agrees with our narrative. And as soon as it doesn't, I'm about to expose you. Let's not lie to ourselves. Did we not know that there were some things about Bill Cosby that might be questionable? Did we not all tune into Seventh Heaven and not know that that man did more than Bill Cosby has ever done? Did we not know
Harvey
that R. Kelly
Weinstein
was
was
into
fondling
something?
like a motherfucker, wasn't he?
I'm just saying. There was a whole island
Like
designated to
everybody.
well, all that they did was sit
I
there
want to
and
help you,
collect
but I want
evidence.
to help yourself. Like, you just some weird shit.
All that did, right, was collect evidence so that when it's time to hang you on everything that would refuse you taking the mantle of growth and evolution, that we now have it on the ready. Look how fast it came out. It took all that time for someone to expose all these. Look, come on. Let's be for real. We didn't know, we didn't see, but the moment that it seemed like change might come, freedom might ring, evolution might evolve. Here we are with all the you're guilty of this. I got a list of things that you ain't about to do because you're guilty of this. And not only am I going to hang you with it, but your whole community is about to hang you with it. Because instead of me being there with you and saying, hey, you got a problem, let's work on that, let's be better. No. I put that in my pocket. I put that in the repertoire. We're going to put that behind us. And as soon as it suits me, as soon as it feels like you think you're too bigger than I think you allowed to be, I'm about to expose that and put you back on the level where I feel like you belong. As it turns out, when we look back at history and we come to what it was that Bill Cosby was about to do before he was exposed, wasn't he about to purchase a bunch of networks like CNN and a few others? And right before, just my goodness, look at God. And then what happened? And what was R. Kelly about to do before he was exposed?
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm talking about? The distraction. It's a smoke screen. It's real cute. And it gets us to click.
With the motherfucking, with the free that boy, Tory Lanez. What was he doing before he got locked up? Before he went through his bullshit. I mean, what did Prince go through? What did Mike go through? Like, what did all the fucking greats go through that really wanted the motherfucker make it? And what did Nipsey go through? Like, all the shit that they fucking went through. Like, it comes with a price. If you go against the industry, that's just why a lot of motherfuckers don't get through to the industry. because
Right.
they will not. There are some real motherfuckers that will not fall for the bullshit. And they can read between the motherfucking lines of what the fuck the motherfuckers is trying to sell them.
You know what's
Hmm.
easy? Putting it out in the media and making us go, horrible, I can't believe you did this. Oh my God. You could not even be guilty of it for real. And
Hmm.
something's wrong with you. I can't believe you did it. I'm not going to tell you that some people don't need a little help, but let's talk about facts. For every person that was exposed that's of our shade, I can give you 10 representatives that are of this shade who have done 10 times that and never been exposed. And when they finally do get exposed, when
Never.
someone finally says, oh my God, I can't believe they did it. Right after Cosby was exposed, give it 5, 7 years, and then you'll find out that the dude who was the father and the pastor of Seventh Heaven was molesting kids. They were bringing kids to the set for him to fuck on, chew on, play with, and all kinds of stuff. Oh my
Mhm.
God, are you kidding me?
And not even be in the show.
They're not even in the show. They were providing him
They
maids
even, they
like
even make
me.
they even make a background like just there for his pleasure.
For his pleasure and his fun.
Hmm.
He had a whole separate part of the set where nobody was allowed to be at, where no cameras were allowed to view him, where he did his filthiest and most disgusting.
Hmm.
Are you kidding me?
Understandable. That that's a lot to sum up real fast. But
Right.
the point that I got out of that is people are trying to cover up the truth for various different issues, whether it be race, telling the truth about various different things, etc., etc. I completely agree with you on that. It's now an issue of how do we work past that point. Like, I feel like a lot of people are starting to finally understand what you're saying, even though it did take a minute. Like, a lot of people are seeing it. If you guys have heard of a pretty polarizing dude nowadays, his name is Nick Fuentes. He's kind of on a very similar mindset to that, except he's basically been saying, these are not my words, I haven't done the research on it, but he's basically been saying that Jewish people have been perpetuating the stuff that Auntie was talking about, that they've basically been controlling media as a whole, taking this, that, and the third thing, stopping people from talking about the truth, paying influencers on social media tens of thousands of dollars in order to perpetuate specific beliefs, etc. Stuff like that. I'm not going to 100% confirm or deny anything like that, but I do think it's an interesting point to bring up after talking about the consistent and constant covering up of facts. Because I do agree with you. They will throw anything at anybody in order to cover up what they don't want you to see. That's just how media is. It's one of the most terrifying things about my industry, or the industry that I want to go into. Because if I don't align with what the political majority is in the film industry, it's the reason I won't go to Hollywood ever. Because they are so politically divided over there right now, and have been for the past at least 8 to 12 years. It's disgusting. And that just gets into a bigger issue of movies not being made to make good movies, but I can get into that another time. Regardless,
Oh, we can't wait.
My God.
it's a situation in which I feel like a lot of people have taken advantage of the fact that people aren't willing to do their own research anymore. That's the main thing. Like, I grew up doing research. My mom always likes to bring up when I was a kid, I always used to do research on stuff. I still do research on stuff. It's not, I feel like being uninformed on a situation is the equivalent of walking into a gunfight with a knife. You're unprepared, extremely unprepared. Why would you do yourself like
Well, you better speak.
Come on, nephew.
One thing I will say is I wouldn't put you at the kiddie table. You need to come to the grown-ups and have a conversation, but don't say too much. Don't make me look. I'm
Right,
just joking
he
with
got
you.
a chair. He got a chair.
if I were to say one thing, and we're gonna wrap this up. This has been an amazing episode yet again at Chestnut Checkers. I didn't expect it to go past the hour of 9 o'clock, but yet we are here at 9:30.
Here we are.
We're literally 2 hours past the marking time. If I were to have a final thought, I would honestly say that stories, the truth of the stories need to be shared. The reasons why we do what we do artistically need to be shared. I believe that with that said, I believe that there's a human side of us that needs to hold people accountable. No, that's not okay. I get this is your artistry, but as a human, you are out of bounds. You are wrong.
Couldn't agree
And
more.
as a point and as a reality, here's what we can do to make you better. Like I said, one of my favorite artists is Kanye West. I love his artistry. His behavior I don't like.
Yeah.
Him being able to influence a culture to do what he wants them to do because they're lacking fundamental principles is scary to me. No more scary to me than I would say Donald Trump on the January 6th incident. We have yet to really understand why people did what they did, but we knew that they didn't have much of a mind to think for themselves.
Say the same.
These are powerful people we're dealing with
Mhm.
and very brittle minds.
Ugh.
Very, very brittle minds. So if you're going to tell your story and you're going to come into the lane of artistry, whether it be through painting, whether it be through singing, whether it be through lyricism, whether it be through poeticism, tell your honesty, tell your truth. Don't give us the resuscitation of what your character is. We don't care about the caricature. We see that every day. But if you're going to come and tell the truth, tell the truth. That's why we fucks with Michael Jackson. That's why we fucks with, still to this day, they're no longer with us. We fucks with Prince. That's why we fucked with so many people, D'Angelo. That's why our heart whipped. We knew that he was a hoe. We knew. But he was honest about it. See, I knew you wanted to cry. I knew you was I knew it. We knew. We knew. But yet we still made it a point to say that man was
Shout out to the person. How do you feel?
He was honest about who he was, and he tried
Shout out to that
do
man.
the best that he could. And as a result, most of us wouldn't have the children that we have if it wasn't for the D'Angelos, the Angie Stones, the God dare we say the Kurt Cobains for some of the other folk. And we'd like to say take some time to be more compassionate, more considerate, but also be more responsible to what you're listening to what you're supporting.
And don't settle just for anything.
There it is. Everything that sounds good ain't good for you.
Mhm.
Right.
We are
Oh.
Chestnut Checkers, y'all. Check us out every Wednesday. Listen, we want to say a special thanks to Alistair. We want to say a special thanks. He actually changed his name, Maximize. We want to send a special thanks to Lovely. Special thanks and a heartfelt I miss you. To
And you, my guy.
my co-host. Thank you, my co-host. Kristen, we miss you.
She'll be back soon.
Listen, I know she'll be back. Listen,
Kristen.
I'm gonna pull him down. Wait a minute. I almost pulled you down. We want to thank you guys for such an awesome night and awesome time. We want to send a special thanks and a special shout outs once again to Kristen. She's in absence, but she's present in how things work and how things operate here. She makes sure that she puts her hand in it. We try to do the best that we can to respect that and honor that in her absence. But while she's not here, we miss you. We wish you the best. And y'all think that we not friends? Like, I honestly love this woman. She has a genuine love within this team of people that y'all can't even identify. She has an impact on us all, and we have an impression of her. So we'll go with this. Y'all be great. Y'all be wonderful. Y'all live life to the fullest. Make sure that you find somebody. Tell them at least that I love you. I think about you. I care about you. And also just operate with integrity, y'all. Even with the music you hear.
And do whatever makes you happy.
Do what makes you happy, healthy, and affordable to life. Can I say that? I was there. Affordable to life. If happiness means take away somebody's life, don't be happy. Don't be miserable if that means canceling somebody else. But other than that, be happy.
We don't do this. We do this. Clock it.
We do this. Copy. I got you.
Clock it. We don't do that. We don't do that thing. We don't do that.
No, I don't fuck with that. I don't. First of all, if I see that shit again, I want to pluck somebody in their fucking nose. That little part right there. Like, stop pinching your fingers together and say something. We are Chestnut Checkers. We want to thank you guys for another amazing episode. We want to thank our special guest that came in, Alistair. We want to thank Love VR being our main host, and Maximize. We thank you so much for coming in and sharing your thoughts. Make sure that you come in next episode. Leave all your information. We want to make sure that we promote you. Okay. You're a black man aspiring to do great things, and you have a one-up on us, which is good guidance. We ain't had that. But y'all take care, enjoy yourselves, and have a special night.
We love y'all.
Good night, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to Chestnut Checkers. Like, share, subscribe, follow, and join the conversation. We want to hear what you're thinking. We want your opinions. We want your thoughts. We want your soul. We want your experience.
We want it all.
We want it all.
And we're moving to TikTok. We're about to take TikTok to a different level. I have a couple of people that are willing to join us, willing to, add the 2 or 3 point things. Some people we may know, some people we might know.
Tell me so I can send them the link.
Every basis. And I promise you, I'm locking it in. I promise you, I'm getting everything together. I'm going to touch up with you, Kristen, and Lovey. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. Fire department, lieutenants of fire departments, captains, we in here. I've been doing my thing, and we back. We going to turn up.
Y'all have a good night. Blessings to you.
Blessings to everybody. Good night, and we love you. Hugs and kisses. Keep it real.
Alistair might be the funniest person on this planet. He might be one of the funniest people on this planet. I swear. I don't think he means to be. Al may be the funniest people on the planet, and I don't think he means to be funny, but he just makes me laugh. He just makes me laugh. That's all I got. He makes me happy. But with that, how did you feel?
I can appreciate every perspective and how different it is from everyone's mentality and soul, and how it filtered into the show tonight. It was magical. It was beautiful. It was honest. It was real. I enjoyed myself.
What I do?
Come on, nephew!
Wait, what? What's going on?
Hold on, because I can't hear y'all.
No. And your name is Colaire?
Corday.
Corday.
Yes.
So a little bit about me. I suck with names.
Mm-hmm. That's fine.
I suck with names.
I got a pretty common name.
But you did your thing. You did your thing, and we were like, okay, it's not gonna be too intense, but we are gonna pinpoint you a little bit.
That's
You
fine.
did your thing. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
No, I definitely did his thing.
I tried. I didn't want to come in here and bring nothing to the table. I mean,
Absolutely. He said, I did my research. I said, oh shit. He probably did more research than I did.
yeah. Well, I just
did
I knew my perspective on everything was going to be fundamentally different. So
Absolutely.
it was nice to be able to talk amongst people from different generations. I kind of wish people would do this type of thing more, kind of like gap a bit in that way, because I like hearing other people's perspectives and seeing how.
Second, were we still live?
I think.
It was
Nah, we're
what?
not live anymore.
Yeah.
No, we're not live anymore. We're ended.
You sure? Because it still says on my screen live.
Yeah, same.